All right, you guys, welcome back to our final presentation of day one. This is Michelle Smith. She's from Imperfection Is Beauty, and I'm just gonna let her get started.
Yay, I'm excited today, guys. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. And second of all, like, congrats for investing in yourself and doing the thing and really just like learning more about business and not just necessarily technique, because I think that's one thing that like we don't get enough of is business. So, like, hands to Erica for putting on such an amazing event and really just honing in on more business, like I said, than just always technique, because I feel like that's what we get a lot of is a lot of technique. But today I'm going to be talking about pivoting in the lash industry. You guys, I've done it a few times. Um, I'm a salon owner, well, a ex-salon owner. I own a little boutique now, but I'm the owner of Imperfection Is Beauty Co. I'm Imperfection Is Beauty Lashes on all platforms. And I also just recently opened up the Pinup Lash Boutique. I'm now located in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. I'm literally on the beach. Like, I could walk across the street and I'm like on the beach. It's literally a dream come true. It's crazy because I was born and raised in Eugene, Oregon, and like shout out to all my Pacific Northwest girls. Um, so, like being on a coast versus like I get to walk the beach every day, like legit beach, like white sand. It's amazing. So, I've been lashing for 6 years and I started a mega volume pre-made line as well as I really went hard on pre-made lash education. And then I opened up a lash retail store. So, a little bit about like my story on how I started, I guess pivoting was I started 6 years ago and I was actually just out of school the other day and I was telling him, I was like, you lash artists now have it very easy compared to how we did 6 years ago. Because girl, Jasmine's like, yes. And I'm like, there was nothing, honey. When I tell you nothing, like people you would have to go pay almost like $2,500 for a course to even learn anything, and then they're going to be like, oh well, first of all, if you even want anything or like our adhesive, you have to pay this, this course, you have to be certified with us. Our adhesive costs like, I think it was like $125. I don't want to drop names, but we're talking old school brands here, and if you know, you know. But like it was hard. It was really hard back in the day. So I had always like I would DM people and I'm like, hey, like, can I like ask you some questions? And people are like, no, no, that ain't gonna work. So I was like, okay, well, we're gonna start, just really YouTube was my best friend when it came to learning things as well as podcasts. So I started lashing when I was still in school, and I had a girl come up to me and say that she wanted volume. And I didn't know volume at the time. And so I ended up Googling like what volume was. And that's when I ended up finding pre-mades. So I bought the pre-mades and then I ended up like literally, it was just I don't know, universe put me in line with pre-mades and it was over with, girls. Let me tell you what, it was just like pre-mades is your jam. I just had better retention with them. It was just all about pre-mades for me. But when I decided to open up my salon, I always held like a couple of adhesive, on hand. I had a bunch of pre-mades. I had some tweezers that I just had started with my own line. So I had people starting to ask me for some product. So that's how I kind of got on the lash retail side of it, and the lash boutique side. So like I was talking about, I lived in Oregon. That's where I kind of started the retail side of the lashes because people were asking me, hey, do you have glue? Hey, do you have this? And I'm like, oh yeah, girl, like I got this, I got that. Okay. Didn't really think anything of it. And like I said, all my Pacific Northwest girls, it's rainy 9 months out of the year. It's dreary, it's miserable. It is just not for me at all. My boyfriend's from Alabama, from Mobile, so that's how we kind of ended up down here in the South. But before that, we moved to Phoenix. And coming from Oregon, where it is very rainy, humid, um, and then going to a completely dry climate, I had to figure out my adhesive real quick, and I had to try a lot of different adhesives. And so when we moved to Scottsdale, if you guys know who Allie Lash Anarchist is, I ended up taking over her spot there in Scottsdale. And that's when the whole lash store like really started blooming. I was like, when we were shutting everything down in Oregon, I was like, okay, salon ownership is not for me. Okay. At one point, I had 7 independent contractors as well as I had commission artists, and I felt like I was babysitting sometimes, and that's not why I got into this industry. I got into the industry to make women feel beautiful and confident, and then I fell in love with education, and then really fell in love with like educating lash artists. So that was my passion, not managing people. I did that for too damn long in my previous years in the restaurant industry. Not for me. So I was just like, okay, we're gonna pivot. So that's when the Last Shop AZ really kind of took off. Um, and I ended up creating the whole entire store in Scottsdale. And that's what really it just it worked. I was just like, okay, I want to bring a store to our area that will hold different brands that people can actually come and try product in person, because we all know that like as lash artists, we're touchy feely people. Like we want to feel our lashes, we want to feel our tweezers, our spoolies. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. This is a different type of shape of spoolie versus our like traditional straight ones. Like, you things are not the same as they are on the internet as they are in person. So I'm like low key a brand whore. I love all different brands. I love trying all different brands. So I was like, I want to create a store where people can actually come in and try different brands and try things in person and be able to buy things in person as well. So that's where the whole really the boutique started. I knew that I didn't want to be like, I don't know, like a Walmart or, you know what I mean? Or something like that. I wanted it to be very intimate, very small, like a boutique style. And all the brands that I hold here in the store, they are all brands that are near and dear to my heart. I've used them, I can vouch for them. Like, they are, you know what I mean? Like, they are brands that I can actually trust when I'm giving these lash artists these recommendations. Like, here, like, buy, this adhesive that I'm you're just trusting me to use this adhesive for your clients and that could have an issue. You know what I mean? There's just like so much trust in it. And I'm like, no, girls, like, come here, test the tweezers, test the lashes, test the adhesives so we know that it will work for you, because all of our environments are different. I don't care if we're like, in the same city, in the same state, and down the street from each other. Our environments are going to be different. And this is why I preach that you always need to have a hydrometer. Like, if you're doing traditional, please always have a hydrometer, because that will literally save your life. If you're doing UV, you don't have to really worry about it because we're not looking at the humidity. You just need to make sure that you're within really more of your temperature range than anything. But I threw away my not didn't throw it away. Now it's out front. But I once I switched to UV, I was like, peace, hydrometer, I'm out. So, and it's really been a game changer for me. Okay. So when I moved to Phoenix, I ended up not building a clientele. Coming from Oregon, where obviously I grew up, I knew everybody. Everybody was coming to get lashes, you know what I mean? Or skincare, lash lift, whatever. Phoenix, whew, whole different ball game. Let me tell you what, Phoenix humbled my ass real quick. because I thought I was this big lash artist because was charging $300 in Eugene before I left. Like I had my own salon. Like I definitely had an ego, let me tell you what. And then I moved to Phoenix to Scottsdale, not knowing anybody. Literally, like I'm right next to the Scottsdale airport. And if you know where that is or have been there, like it's pretty rural. Yeah, crickets. I was like, hey, I'm a lash artist. You know what I mean? No, this is a big city, honey. This is like nothing like Eugene, where we're like maybe 400,000. We're talking 6 million people in Phoenix. Like it's crazy huge. So I was like, okay, well, we have to figure something out, but I'm not leaving the industry. And there's something here with this people wanting to try product in person and wanting to come pick up products in person. So if you are a lash artist that is maybe like you're just burnt out on lashing, there's nothing wrong with being burnt out on lashing. You know what I mean? Like, especially when we are doing this day in, day out. I'll be 38 this month, actually. So, like, I know that there's all different ranges of ages of lash artists. Like, the young girls, please take care of your body now. Like, seriously, quit taking the 10 clients a day and like literally lashing like day in, day out and don't take care of yourself. Our older, mature women, yeah, we know we have to take like maybe 3 or 4 clients a day. We're going to get massages. We, you know what I mean? We're drinking water. We're doing all the things because this is our longevity. This is our business. This is our career. We want to, be in it for the long run. And I know that some people, they don't think like that because they just think they see the fast money. They see it very quickly. They're just like, no, I want to make that money. And it's like, honey, if you break down your body, there is no money to be made. So there's always different things that you can do within this industry, and that's one thing that I absolutely love about the beauty industry and especially lashes is because like when I went to school, I thought I was only gonna go do lashes. Okay, I wouldn't say like 6 years ago that I would be doing what I am now. I'd be like, whatever, I'm still in Eugene taking lash clients. Like that's what I thought I was going to do. And then I really fell in love with education and then just it kind of spiraled from there. So this industry, it can give you so much. Like I said, if you're kind of burnt out on lashes, like what do you like to do? What are the things that you love to do? Okay. So when I was creating this presentation, I've hired out quite a bit because I not only am a lash artist, I have a brand. I was coaching at the time. Um, if you guys don't know, my partner, he has MS. So, like, a lot goes to him too, like a lot of attention. So, it's a lot. And as we know, as a solopreneur, like, and as a female, our hormones, everything. You know what I mean? Some days you want to burn down your business. Some days you just love it so much you're crying. And then some days you just like don't want anything to do with it. So I have hired out for multiple things within my business. But like, so do you love tech? Do you love building out websites? Do you love creating emails? Do you love maybe you're really good at like running ads behind the scene? You know what you're doing like in Facebook Manager, or you know what you're doing like when you open up the boost in the Instagram and things like that, or maybe even on TikTok. There's so many different things within the tech world that lash artists don't want to do. Okay. Because we are the marketer. We are the lash artist. We are the mom. We are the wife. We are the dog mom. We are the cleaner of our business. Oh, we have to maybe take care of ourselves. Things like that. So it's okay to want to source out for the things that you maybe don't know what you're exactly doing or maybe need some help with. Another thing that I have sourced out before is social media. Before ChatGPT, ladies, okay, remember OG Lash Artist here 6 years ago, there was no chat. There was us like on Instagram, it was photos. it wasn't reels, and I about shit myself when we had to start doing reels because I was like, what is this video stuff? Like seriously? Okay. So, I had hired out somebody to create content for me and create captions because I did not like the way that I wrote. And so I thought, well, I talk a lot or I write a lot how I talk. So when we're trying to convey something like more with an authority or something like that through Instagram, like I was just like, I don't think I'm confident in it, which now I am. But chat is my bestie because he helps a lot. And his name is my bestie on there. I'm like, hey, bestie. He's like, hey, bestie. I'm like, thank you. You know what I mean? And yeah, I absolutely love the presentation about AI. I was like, ooh, I got so many ideas now. So yeah, if you love, you know, marketing or content creation, I know that there are so many people that like making content for other brands. You guys can get paid for that. Okay. Like if you or you can get free product for that stuff. Or maybe I mean, I don't know. I mean, I see all the time people talking about brand deals, and I watch stuff on YouTube, and I follow this one girl, and she was talking about like people have made it like full, commitment jobs. I'm not saying the lash industry, I'm talking about other industries, but like this is what they do full time is like brand deals, and they make damn good money. So why not try that for like the lash industry? So I don't know what brands, whatever, but start tagging the brands that you love. Start making the reels and stuff like that. Like make yourself, if you want to be a lash influencer, that's going to be the best way to do that is start tagging them and start making content for them. Short, long form content, we love it all. And then another thing is what you could also do is, do you love hosting like events? Do you want to build like a local community around you? Like maybe you want to become a lash educator and you don't want to just educate online. Maybe you just want to focus on your local community. You know, I feel like, and I'm more saying myself, in the beginning, I wanted for the masses. You know what I mean? Because that's what I thought I wanted. But now that I'm here, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to focus locally because that's where I feel like needs the help the most, especially being in the South now. And like, I feel like there's not a whole lot of education around here, and I'm trying to change that, especially because like Fort Walton Beach is a very small town, and I'm like maybe 15 minutes away from Destin. Like I'm right by the Okaloosa Bridge. So if you guys know the area, like we small, okay? Very, very small. So because I have been in the industry for so long and I've done as much as I have within the 6 years, like I want to be able to help the baby lash artist. Not have to spend 6 years and do what I did. You know what I mean? Like, let's take them from 6 years to 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, if you really are passionate about education, start locally. Don't worry about the damn big masses, like trying to reach everybody. Start locally. That I'm telling you, that's where you're going to make your money. Okay. Because most people are going to go to those big brands before they're going to actually support small brands. So focus on your local community. And another good way is for you to host like lash events. You don't have to like have like big, extravagant, like huge events. So what I've been doing is every month I have a little lash artist event, and it's more marketing. They can come in. I go and buy like cheese, crackers, maybe some wine, some juice and chocolates, little things like that. Like maybe $20-$30 worth, you know what I mean, once a month. And we just have like a little gathering. The first time I had like 5 girls, second time I had like 5 girls, and it's growing from there. And it's more like some of these girls travel like an hour and a half, and I'm like, damn. Okay, you know what I mean? So like people are willing to travel and people want that community. People really truly, I feel like want that more, that in person. We're lash artists, and as much as like there might be some guys in here, but we're mainly females, and we want that female connection. We want that connection in general. So having like a local event will really help with that, and also get your name out there, and as well as an authority. And then, are you passionate about product? Like, do you want to open up a lash retail store? Do you want to have a product line? Like, when I went in to everything, I never thought that I would have a pre-made line. I never thought in a million years I would have a lash line. I wanted to be, I guess back then, an influencer for lashes. I mainly wanted to like represent one brand. Um, she has now sold it off, but to somebody else, and the brand's still operating. But I wanted to be like, I wanted to be a representative for her. I wanted to be a lash ambassador. That's all I wanted to do, was being an ambassador for her. And I remember it was around COVID, and I was maybe a year into like actually my business. And I was like, yeah, I want to be ambassador for you, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, no, you don't. And I was like, yes, girl, yes, I do. She's like, no, you don't. And I was like, okay. And she's like, what do you really love doing? And I was like, I've been playing around with like these pre-mades, and I kind of like them, but they have such a horrible stigma like in the industry. And like, I taught myself basically how to pinch, because I started with pre-made, and then, everyone talks so much shit about them. I was like, oh, maybe they're bad. Maybe I shouldn't be using them. And then I taught myself, I'm like, let me try these easy fans. So I did easy fans. And if you have done easy fans before, you know that they're like a fat base like this. So I would always teach myself to like basically pinch it down. And I was like, I taught myself how to pinch basically. And so I was like, okay, well, let me like, fine tune these skills. So I took a pinching course, and that's when I fell in love with the person's course and their brand and everything. And I was like, but these pre-mates, like, I don't know. And she's like, I think that there's something with these pre-mates. And I was like, okay, but where do I even start? Like, she was like, well, let me help you like find a manufacturer. Let me show you what to do. Let go on Instagram, start messaging them, go on Alibaba, start messaging them, tell them that you want some samples. You know what I mean? She's like giving me like all these steps to do it. And I was like, okay, here we go. So I remember just like asking for samples, and then it just like kind of spiraled from there. But are you like, you don't have to have a full-on brand, okay? So I really just specialize in pre-mates and tweezers. So I got pre-mates, tweezers, and mirrors, and some tiles for Imperfection Is Beauty. Now, the lash retail store behind me is a whole different story. Okay. We got lashes, we got remover, we got everything. So if you were to come in here as a new lash artist, besides like, well, I do have lights that I could sell you. I don't have a lash bed. I got pillows, but like we got everything. You know what I mean? Because as a lash artist, like, what about if you drop your tweezer, we're screwed? What about if your mail didn't come in and you need adhesive or your tape or dental bibs or whatever? There's just so many things that we need that we don't know we need until we need it. So, um, yeah, so the options are endless for what you could do within the lash industry. Lash education. Do you love educating others? There can be tech online or in person for people, and also business coaching. Um, if you can also be a lash influencer if you want to, like we talked about earlier. Make sure that you are tagging these people, and if you see that they are asking you to do it quite a bit, like negotiate some money. You know what I mean? Like, be like, hey, I'll make you. I've never done this, and I'm not lying, like as a personal brand, or as me as a brand, or any done this with anybody, but I would be like, if somebody was to come to me and be like, if I come to you as like a package, and I'm like, I'm the influencer, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna create like 10 reels for you, like, I don't know, $500. You know what I mean? And we're talking 30-second reels or something. And within those 10 reels, like a bunch of different genres of like whatever, you know what I mean? Because I don't know what brand, or I'm just talking in general. So like negotiate, you know what I mean? Because, or get on TikTok and see what people are saying, because these people are making some damn money doing this. So there's no shame in asking. Because I'm talking like big brands. Like I was just watching something on American Express. No, what was it? It was Dunkin' Donuts, okay, out of a random YouTube freaking channel. Dunkin' Donuts has like an ad, and it's some influencer. Not even like them doing like a full on commercial. Like people are getting paid big money for this. So, like I said, there is no shame in you asking for some money. And if not, cool, that's okay. But just make sure that you're posting and tagging them. And then, so then that they can get to know you too and notice you. And then if you completely don't want to be like any of the thing in the lashes, say that you're just like completely burnt out, permanent, yeah, permanent tattooing, and I meant to do like fine line tattooing as well as PMU is what I meant to put on there for the permanent tattooing. And then permanent jewelry too. I've met a lot of lash artists that have like pivoted to permanent jewelry, and they make quite a good amount of income. They're doing a lot of pop-ups, events, and things like that. So that's another one, as well as that you don't have to get another license for. But obviously, fine line tattooing or PMU will in a lot of other states besides Arizona. I don't know if the laws have changed or not, but you don't have to have a license to do PMU in Arizona. So just saying. Um, but that's another option too. So, and it all really comes back into the beauty industry, and that's what I love about it the most. So, what you want to be different, what is going to make you stand out from others versus just staying within our little niches, you know what I mean? Because there are a lot of, I don't want to say there's not a lot of lash influencers. I'm thinking of like all the other brands, different industries. So if that is something that you want to do and you're comfortable like being on camera, like get it, make that money, um, and get comfortable being uncomfortable, because that is the only real way that we're gonna grow and truly push ourselves as just like humans in general, and especially as entrepreneurs. Like my first year of my brand, I went to LashCon as not even a attendee, as a sponsor, and I did that for 4 years in a row. So, you know what I mean? Like, just get comfortable being uncomfortable. Like it will make you grow just so much more, and trust me, you'll thank yourself just so much more. Because if you get comfortable, then you're never really going to grow, and then you're going to be irritated and pissed off at yourself that you're not doing what homegirl is on that you're watching on IG right now, or me, or you know what I mean? Like if you want to do what you want to do, do it. Don't think that you can't do it. Like if you guys have questions, I mean, we'll get into questions in a second, but like if you think of questions like in the future, like you can always DM me. Don't be afraid to like invest in yourself. I feel like a lot of the times lash artists, like we are like, okay, we're lashing. We're gonna only invest in lash artist stuff. We're only gonna invest in lash education, physical like education techniques. You know what I mean? Like we should be investing like this, obviously these kind of events, like what Erica's putting on, more business things, marketing, photo, things like that, business mentoring. I can't tell you how much I've spent on top of like thousands upon thousands of dollars on business mentoring, but I would not be here where I am today if I did not invest that money in myself. I'd be back in Eugene, pissed off, irritated, seeing everybody else live their dream life. And I'm just like, I hate when it's cloudy like this, which it is cloudy here today in Florida because we had a storm last night. But I know that I can get off this and I'm going to go walk the beach. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and if I didn't get uncomfortable or comfortable being uncomfortable, I wouldn't be here where I am today. So, okay. That's my little presentation. I've seen the chat kind of blowing up. So if you guys have any questions, you guys are always free to like unmute yourself or ask in the chat. Okay. Hi guys. Okay. I'm just reading through these really quick. Loops. Oh my gosh, I love loops. I want to get a pair of loops. Have you guys seen the knockoff version on Amazon? I want to try those because loops are like a grand. Yep. Exactly. If you want this to be a career, you have to take care of your body. Otherwise, this will be just a job. So true. Girl, I feel you. My goal is to be able to hire someone to manage social media, and it's because social media because it is my enemy task. I feel you on that. It's so true. That's how I was for a while. And then what really helps me is just batching. Like batch working um will help a lot too. Because then you don't feel like you have to constantly be creating. And let me tell you guys, repurpose. Repurpose some content. Repurpose, repurpose, repurpose. A amazing um app that I like to use. It is called Snaptic. Yeah, let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's Snaptic. Um, and what that does is you can basically what you'll do is you'll copy like the code from Instagram. I have the paid version, but you can take, okay, here, let me just show you guys real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna go to a reel that I have here, and the little arrow, you're gonna go to copy link, and then it's saved, and then you're gonna have the app already downloaded, and it's called Snaptic, and then it's gonna ask you, do you want to allow to paste? And you're gonna say yes, and then it's gonna load its little thingy, loading, loading, loading. My internet's been very, very slow today. Almost need to unbox this package. Okay. From Imperfection Is Beauty. Their lashes and their packaging are so cute. I was obsessed with the tweezers. They read. It completely took the whole entire reel as well as the captions. So, you know what I love about this one the most is you're going to go repost video. We have Reels, Facebook, Stories, TikTok, as well as you can go other, if it will let me. And you can do YouTube too. So if you guys are not utilizing like YouTube and YouTube Shorts, especially if you have a brand, get on it because that is going to be a way that you can push your brand as well. But I love Snaptic because it lets me repurpose so much content to where I'm not having to like download it on my phone. I can't tell you, like, I have so many, like, just reels, reels, like things that I've repurposed over. I think I've had Snaptic for about a year now. And I love it because it works amazing. Okay. I'm just gonna read. Okay, so loops. Let me know if you guys have any more questions. Okay. Lola, you have loops? Okay. I got them in the mail 2 weeks ago. I don't lash every day, but I still getting used to keeping them on my posture and keep using them for full potential. But I have allowed to see. Yes. So if you guys don't know what loops are, it's like they are actually taking your prescription and they're doing like the distance from where you're sitting, like how I'm sitting from my computer, that's going to be at like that's going to be your intermediate. If you guys, I have an optical background. Um so they're going to come in and they're going to like measure everything, and they're going to make sure that like your intermediate and like you're up close and everything is like perfect from where you're sitting in your chair with your client. They are worth the money. Oh, that's cool. I'm making huge things on my Canva. Um, but I do want to invest in some. They're quite spendy, but they are worth it, especially if you're going to be lashing full time. Okay, which Snaptic app is it? So it's Snaptic. Let's see. It's got, let me show you guys the icon. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a little save button. Here, I'm like my phone. It's this one right here on the very edge. It's, yeah, Snaptic. I'm gonna put it in the chat. TIK. And then it's got a plus. So I do have the paid version. I love it. Okay, I have loops too. I love them, but they really hurt my head. They are also heavy. I need to reach back out to the rep and see if they can do something to help. Yes, definitely, because we don't want that stress on our neck at all, because that's no bueno or no fun. So, yeah, definitely reach out to them and they should be able to totally and help you out with that. Okay, guys, do you guys have any more questions? Okay, hang on. They're coming in. Michelle, I want to start using pre-mades more, but I'm scared. Girl, why are you scared? Why are you scared? Don't be scared. Like, what are you scared of? Are you scared that you're not going to get like the best retention? Are you scared that lash artists are going to judge you? Tell me why you're scared. And then how do you integrate new services with old content? Example, page is mostly hair and makeup now, and I work in a lash spa. Should I start a new page dedicated to one service? I personally would not. I mean, I guess Kayla, are you only wanting to do just like lashes now? I personally wouldn't make a new page because maybe your existing clients or your previous clients or the people that follow you on that page, they want to get lashes. You know what I mean? Because like if the more services that we do, almost the better, because then you can be like, okay, I do hair and she doesn't have lashes now. Um, and then you start doing lashes and then everybody wants them. Okay. Everything. Tips on using pre-mades, please. Pre-mades are miles from where they have started. I get 3 to 4 week retention with them. Yes. Um, I want a one-stop shop feel. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect, Kayla, because that's perfect. You do hair, you do makeup, you do lashes. That's all you need. Okay. Tips. I'm like, my brain's like, pre-mades. You know what I mean? Okay, so tips and tricks for pre-mades. Use more adhesive. Use more adhesive, use more adhesive, use more adhesive. Also, brand does matter. Um, it does. I don't care what anyone says. I've tried a lot of different brands, and I'm not saying this because I have my own brand of pre-mades. I'm saying because I've tried a shit ton of different fibers of pre-mades. And when we are buying super, super cheap pre-mades, guess what? You're going to get cheap quality fibers. So that's probably why they're not staying. Maybe they're losing their curl. Maybe you're getting that little box. Um, that means because like most likely they weren't like heat pressed, that they had a glue bond to them. And then the fibers are coming out. So it's no bueno. Um, I used to I used them to make a set last week and I loved how they turned out. I just No, I don't have the most control on how big the fan is unless I use different dimensions or uh densities. I just don't have the money to invest in buying a lot of them right now. That's fine. So, what you could do if you have, say, okay, so say that you have, I carry 20, 14, and 10D. So, if you have a 10D and you need to break it down, you can take that pre-made. Actually, hang on. I have my pre-mades right here. I don't know how well we're going to be able to see, but we'll try. So, you're going to take the pre-made. And yeah, I don't know how we're gonna hold it, but you're gonna take your tweezers and you're gonna hold it really, really tight, like those maybe, I don't know, three, four fibers, and you're gonna rip them off. So you should be able to like get them off. And then now instead of a 10D, you have a 60 or 5D or whatever you want. Like I just said, every brand is different. So I know with my brand, I can break them down. There's some brands that I can't because the whole entire thing will fall apart. So, um, that's a good way if to use it. If I mean to like use what you have, instead of buying a whole bunch more. And then a lot of people think that they don't need to charge as much. Like they think that they need to charge less because they use pre-mades, and that is far from the truth. You need to actually charge a little bit more, I feel like, because I mean, they cost a little bit more, you get better retention, and I feel like you can, I don't want to say like you can get better customization, but like you get better retention with them. There's no reason why that you should not be charging as much as a handmade, if not more. When pivoting into selling products, okay, when pivoting into selling products to other lash artists, do you suggest starting with a small inventory? There is nowhere around me to buy products. Okay, so if you want to start a lash retail store, okay, and if you don't want to have your own brand, I what I did, because like I said, I have pre-mades and that's it. Well, and my other little stuff. I am not gonna start a damn glue brand. I don't want to deal with the glue. No, 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 no. No. I buy wholesale. So I go to the brand and I'm like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, give me a good deal and let me buy wholesale. And then, you know what I mean? Because you are also doing marketing for that brand as well. So like 20% buy. That ain't no, that's nothing. We're talking like 30 probably percent, 30 to 40% for wholesale because I mean everybody needs to be able to make a profit. But there are some brands that you have to buy into um that are like $6,000 or $7,000 just to even get into the retail side. And that's the bigger brands. And I'm not doing that. Like maybe down the road, but just start very small. Like so how I started, I love Ruthie Bell. I absolutely love Ruthie's adhesive. Everything about her is amazing and she's just like an amazing human and I love what she stands for when it comes to her products. And so that's the products that I started with. And that when people started getting hooked on her adhesive, they're like, okay, also I started when I used her adhesive because when I did traditional, that's what I used. And so even people like when they come and I just had a brand new girl come in the other day and she's like, I need adhesive. And I was like, okay. And she's like, I also need a bonder. And I was like, girl, you need the adhesive super dry, and the bonder. Those are the three things that I always like sell together. If they want all three, but like those go hand in hand and people always come back. I'm even selling Ruthie stuff to other people online. They're like buying from my website, the pinup side, just because they want Ruthie's product. They could totally go to Ruthie Bell and buy it, but they want to, support me or whatever. But it's so nice because so many lash artists come in here and they're like, where have you been? You know what I mean? I'm just like, I opened in October. I'm here. I'm not leaving. I had a lash artist come in yesterday and she's been lashing for like 30 years and she's like, not 30 years, but like 20 years. And she's like, yeah, I'm like an OOG lash artist, like pot, dealing with it in the pots and stuff. And like the glue would take like a minute per lash to dry. And she's just like, I never thought we would have something like this because people don't, like it's so cool that we can create things like this within the industry. And that's what I love about it is because, like I said, if you don't want to do lashes anymore, that's okay. Or maybe you want to go part time. I don't have kids. I have a Doberman, and that is my child. And if anybody owns a Doberman or has owned a Doberman, yeah, he's right here. That is literally my child. That boy's like, Mom, where are you? But if you guys have human children, oh man, I can't even imagine you guys like doing everything that you have to do on top of lashing, running the business. Oh, so this is a perfect way to like supplement your income. And then also if you want to get into education, like it's going to be another way to get in there as well, is because people are going to start coming in and they're going to start asking you things. And then you're going to start educating them and you can be like, okay, I actually want to start like teaching on this kind of things. So, um, it is an untapped market. I know it's an untapped market. Cosmoprof just started selling one brand at the close. I know what brand you're talking about too. Um, we will talk, Jasmine. DM me. Um, because it's really an untapped market. And I feel like if you guys are really passionate about it, like I said, I was a brand whore. I have like my little pink bat or thingy basket over here. This is $2. It's all the different brands that I've tried over like my 6 years. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what has created this. But like yeah, it's amazing and I love that we are able to even create that. I keep hearing of Ruthie Bell, but I have not tried the glue before. Probably need to get some soon. You definitely need to get some and it's very inexpensive. Like I sell it on the pinups. If you go to Pinup Lash Boutique, it's there. But her stuff is like anywhere from $20 to 55, and her stuff is made in Germany and it's amazing. And I've tried so much adhesive. I know quite a bit about adhesive. I don't want to like keep you guys too long. But yeah, I know quite a bit about adhesive and I can tell you that her stuff is no joke and like her grade of cyanoacrylate is very good and there's not a bunch of crap that's in there. Because if we're sitting here using sky glue versus like I don't know. I think sky glue is like what, $20? It's crazy. I don't even know anymore. I just personally won't buy a glue from Amazon because they do not rotate their adhesive like they should. It kind of sits in a warehouse until they sell out of it. So it just sits there and like cyanoacrylate does like there's an expiration date on it. So if they're not moving things fast enough, it's no bueno. So definitely check out Ruthie Bell for sure. And then did you post your IG? Thank you, Jasmine. Imperfection is Beauty Lashes. And the warehouse is not temperature control. Oh, it is not temperature controlled. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, no wonder why the glue's not working. So you guys, temperature is a huge thing when it comes to that adhesive. That adhesive is very, very touchy. Okay, so like that's why you have to have a hydrometer. This hydrometer actually, because I'm at our little testing station at the salon, this is what a hydrometer is, and this is what's going to tell you your humidity or your temperature and then your humidity. So I'm at 75 right now, and my humidity indoors at 46. Um, you have to know these things. Like 75 is like pushing the temperature for the adhesive right now if I was lashing full time. So I'd be like, oh, if it's starting to creep up, like it's not going to work to its optimal um, performance if you let it get warm, and it's not going to work very good if it's too cold though either. It's a lot like acrylic for our nails. The temperature has to be just right. And same thing with the humidity. The humidity has to be like just right for it. So, okay. Any more questions, guys? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Michelle. That was so great. So much
Thank
good information. And I think it just is an opportunity to kind of open your eyes and your mind to all the different opportunities that we have within our industry. There's definitely nothing wrong with just doing lashes or just doing hair or skin services or doing the services side of things. But there's also so many incredible opportunities. And like you were saying, I think you mentioned like, there's a lot more influencers in other industries like the hair industry and such. And like, if you look at our industry, like lash industry specifically, we're really like a baby industry compared to others, right?
Such a
And even though it feels like, oh my gosh, there's so many other lash artists, there's so many brands, there's so many influencers or whatever, it really is just the beginning. And getting in to do these opportunities and getting started with these types of things now is going to help. I mean, I think it's a great time to get into those types of opportunities because it's only going to keep growing and getting more saturated with that, and you can get established with it now. So even though it feels like there's so much, and it's really not, we really are still growing, we're still evolving, and you have so many opportunities. So I loved getting to hear about this. And then I wanted to add for one of the questions that came in. Sorry, I am just scrolling up to see who asked that one again. So for Kayla, when you were asking about making a separate page for different services, the way I look at it, and especially like our social media management clients, if you are thinking about creating a separate page, you want to think about the audience for it, right? So where you have a page that's mostly hair and makeup, and you're thinking about starting a page for lash extensions, it's still the same audience that you're trying to attract, local people, right, who are interested in beauty services. So I liked Michelle's advice of that, I would stick with the same page, and especially because it would be the same audience. Now, if you were starting to pivot into, say, lash education, and you have a lot of local people on your services page, that's a different audience, and then that might justify starting a whole new page. I definitely wouldn't want to start a whole new one unless you absolutely had to. So I liked Michelle's insight on that, but that was just one point I wanted to make with it too, is like if it has a different audience, then I'd create a new page. If it's still the same type of people you're trying to attract, that same ideal client, keep it all in one. Make it easy on yourself. So, all right, perfect. So, oh, I think there was one more question that just came in, Michelle. Clarissa asked, how much inventory do you try to keep stocked?
Um, for the store, like adhesive wise, like I keep maybe five of each in because like I also carry UV adhesive too. So I actually need to do another Ruthie Bell order soon because I'm selling out like crazy of adhesive. Like I said, I've been selling a few online too. But I keep mainly like five of each thing. But like when it comes to lashes, like when you guys are, if you want to start like a little retail store, like just start out with a few things, like two or three things. Who cares if you sell out? Guess what? It's going to build more anticipation. People are going to be like, oh my God, when is she restock? When is she restock? You know what I mean? And then people are going to start talking about it. So you don't go crazy. Please don't go spend like $5,000, $10,000 worth of product. Like start out very small. Start, putting on your Instagram if you like, hey, guys, local lash artist, if you guys need some adhesive, I got you. If you guys need some lashes, I got you. And then it's really gonna spread from there because once a lash artist like knows that somebody is selling product in town, they will start hunting you down. I'm telling you. And then you're gonna be like, oh, I need to start like actually checking my requests in my DMs and stuff like that because they're gonna be like, hey, can I come get some glue? Like, can you come deliver to me? Like, I just did a delivery yesterday and I said, yeah, an extra $10. She's like, Venmo you now. And I was like, cool, see you in 20 minutes. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, especially with like people who run out of product and they need glue last minute and they need lash trays. I remember there was a girl I didn't even retail products, but there was a girl who did lashes in my same building, and she literally paid me for like three strips out of a tray because she was like, I just need these sizes. Like I'm in a pinch, I need these. So she's like, I'll Venmo you for just a few strips. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely a demand on a local level. So
It
um,
is because everywhere there's a lash artist. Every town
yeah,
has a lash artist.
yeah.
And all of our stuff is online. And it's like, Like you said, like what about if you don't have a curl for a client? You know what I mean? Or if you know a client's coming in and you like want to do, they need a specific curl or an Asian eye or something like that. And you're like, I need that L curl. Like I can't, all I have is these. What am I gonna do? You know what I mean? That's gonna be like in literally her eyeball. So that's when they're gonna be like, yep, I'm going pin up like right now.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Well, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out to Michelle on Instagram. I think Jasmine dropped her Instagram name. It's Imperfection is Beauty Lashes on Instagram. So this concludes our day one. So with that being said, Michelle is giving away a few of her memberships. Do you want to tell them what the membership is all about?
Yes. So the Imperfection Squad. So it is literally like my brain. So this is a membership that I have created that I wish I had when I was a baby lash artist because I have spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of tears, a lot of just everything when it comes to the lash industry because I just went head in straight for it. And I go over business, we go over techniques, we go over everything in the membership. We do weekly Q&As and we talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, like open floor, whatever. Like, I really want to build a community and be able to help the baby lash artist to the lash artist that is ready to start a retail store or start a brand. You know what I mean? Because I've done it all and I would not be where I am today if I didn't invest in myself and get in a membership and really invest in business mentoring. Um, the world is wild right now. So I wanted to create a membership that was also affordable for everybody to like access. It's $33.33 a month. But I'm gonna give away um three people. So you guys are going to get a month for free in the membership and you're going to get all the programs and everything that's included with it. So I'm excited.
Yay, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna do all three of those giveaways right now, just while we're here with Michelle, um, with her presentation. So first winner, let me just make sure she's on. You know what? I don't think she's on right now, so we'll pick her for a different one. Um, okay, so my fellow Erica Monroe, will be our first winner for an
Yeah.
Imperfections Beauty membership. Or what is it? Your Imperfection Squad, right?
Yeah, Imperfection Squad.
Yeah, I love that. All right, and then Takita, also a winner. Congratulations.
Congrats.
And I think she's in Florida as well, just like you, so that's fun. And then our final one for this one is Abby. So Abby West, congratulations. So I will get you guys set up with Michelle, and I'll be reaching out. Actually, I'm gonna write your guys' names down. One of them I forgot to write down earlier, so I'm gonna have to watch the replay to remember. Um, so we had Abby, Takita, and the Erica M. Okay, perfect. So with that being said, we will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, same thing, 8:45 a.m. Mountain Time. So that is 7:45 a.m. Pacific Time. And if you're in Arizona, that's also 7:45 a.m. And then that is 9:45 a.m. Central, 10:45 a.m. Eastern. So come and see back tomorrow. I'll be active in the Facebook group tonight. I would love for you to come interact in there and come introduce yourself if you haven't already. And then for the big giveaways tomorrow, we are giving away we've got an Unstripped Academy course we'll be giving away for the Unstripped method. We also have an International Lash Expo ticket for their Miami, Florida event. And we also have a lifetime membership to NALA, the National Association of Lash Artists, that we will be giving away tomorrow afternoon. We also are doing a ton of other giveaways tomorrow as well. So, that being said, if you are live with us tomorrow, that you have a higher chance of winning those. If you did share the graphic about how you're attending the event, you get an extra um, entries into the big giveaways. And then also, if you go share on your Instagram story what your biggest takeaway was from today and tag Lash Biz Babes, I will give you 3 extra entries into the big giveaways for tomorrow as well. And you don't have to be present to win those ones with those extra entries. So, that all being said, thank you so much for being here today. If you have questions or any issues, feel free to reach out to me. I have already started uploading replays to the Facebook group. I'm going to continue those tonight. I'm going to try and get those up on the Lash Biz Babes Academy platform as soon as I'm able to. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for being a part of our day today. And I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone again tomorrow. So we'll see you guys in the Facebook group tonight.
Yay. Thank you guys.